The news is brought to you by the National Bank of the Virgin Islands, Cyril B. Ramney Tertola Pier Park, NV Salon Spa Nail and Barbershop, the Wellness Center, Medical and Behavioral Health Clinics, Ticely Cross Deliciously Smooth Cider, HOV Medical and Digicel, simply more speed, reliability and entertainment. The discussion around the same-sex marriage as to whether it should be made legal continues to be topical in the Virgin Islands, with persons from all sectors lending their voices to the topic. At the level of government, taking the matter to the people of the territory in the form of a referendum is the fairest way to determine whether or not to legislate.
One thing that I'm certainly against in our community is what we call cultural imperialism. This is where one culture wants to force their culture on somebody else's culture. And we in the Virgin Islands, we have a strong culture. We have a strong belief in God. We assert that we are a Christian community. And while we accept others, and while we certainly don't advocate for violence or discrimination against others, we are certainly firm in what we believe and what we want our culture to be. So of course we know that we have a legal case. And part of the purpose of this case, which has been brought against the government, which we are defending vigorously, we're defending marriage between a man and a woman. But we have a case where two young ladies got married in the United Kingdom, and they want to force the government to recognize their marriage, and they're asserting that our Marriage Act violates the Constitution. So what has been recommended to me as a means of strengthening our case is to be able to allow the people of the Virgin Islands to make their views known and clear as it pertains to their belief that marriage should be between a man and a woman. And the referendum allows you the opportunity to, in an official way, send that message to the court system, to the United Kingdom, and to whoever else in terms of what we want to see our community to be. We don't want the United Kingdom or anyone else or the courts to get into the business of making laws for the Virgin Islands. We believe that's the purview of the people of the Virgin Islands.
First, I'll start out in terms of the biblical teachings and the biblical principles that speak to what marriage is and what societal norms are. And I think that has to be consistent in the way that we govern, the way that we legislate. And I think it's not our responsibility to put our personal preference on the people of the BVI. I will never, my opinion should not govern, should not dictate how I legislate. And I believe that just like we're doing the referendums on these issues, the people have spoken very loudly. And we saw it recently when we had the Police Act and the concerns that were raised, particularly in that act, where persons expressed their displeasure on how we should approach certain legislative frameworks. But I am not one to be judgmental, but I believe that the principles of the law of the land and the society should obtain.
However, recently, Chief Executive Officer of Christian Concerns UK, who is also the Chief Executive Officer of Christian Legal Centre UK, Andrea Williams, had a different take, suggesting that going to a referendum opened the doors for other areas for the wider world, the UK in particular, to sneaking other things that can potentially erode the Christian principles and values of the territory.
So I'm going to say to you, my challenge to you is, who you put into the house is really, really important. So you need to get serious and mobilise as the church. And what you need to do, if possible, is stop a referendum. But if there is to be a referendum, which many have told me is inevitable, then on that ballot is going to be the possibility of civil partnerships. And many Christians are going to say, that's just about human rights, isn't it? That's not really marriage. Because the way it's going to be worded is that there's Christian marriage or sanctity of marriage. And this is just a civil partnership. No, it's not, it's marriage. It's everything but marriage in name, and it's all incremental. Once you give way to that, in a moment, and it won't take you 10 years, it's going to take you 2 years before civil partnerships becomes same-sex marriage. And it's the wholesale redefining, not of marriage. Bear in mind that when you do that, you rip up the meaning of marriage in any event.
This matter has been taken to a higher level of attention as a result of the government of Virgin Islands being taken to the court of law by 2 local women who were married overseas as they seek to have their union recognized as legal in the territory.
We know that where you choose to bank matters, and it is your vote on what your funds do in strengthening our community. As your official Bank of Paradise, we invest and support the lifeblood of our economy by helping in the realization of personal goals for homeownership, education, and entrepreneurial visions, which support small businesses. We make it our place to connect with persons and worthy causes, and we have been doing so for more than 30 years. Where your money goes and what your dollars empower are your choice. And we thank you for choosing us, a bank that gives where it matters the most, for you, for our community, and a happier tomorrow. The National Bank of the Virgin Islands.
Everyone looks to the future, but no one truly knows what the future holds.
The number of people under the age of 20 with type 2 diabetes could increase by 49% by 2050. Let it be known that we all have a 30% chance of developing hypertension.
Globally, more than 300 million people of all ages suffer from depression.
More than 60,000 young adults aged 20 to 39 are diagnosed with cancer each year. Obesity leads to problems such as stroke, heart disease, and kidney failure.
No matter your race, age, or color, we are all at risk.
These diseases can be managed or prevented if caught early.
But with the right medicine and the right doctors to keep us on a path to live a robust and healthy life,
we will live well.
There are many ways to enjoy life, like so many ways to count on Popular.
Plug into Digicel Plus and get even more entertainment with Disney Plus included. The best of Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, and National Geographic all in one place. Whenever you want, plug into Plus to enjoy Disney Plus and much more with a home fiber bundle. Sign up today. Digicel Plus.